welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on NXT. But before we do, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's get right into this. So, the opening match was a women's match, as it should be. We love to see it. And they started off with a bang because we had the WWE Women's United States Champion, you heard that right, Chelsea Green, with her tag team partner, Piper Niven. They took on Zarya and Sol Ruca, and let me just say, this was a great match, okay? Never in a million years would I have ever predicted that this match would be a thing and that it would cook as hard as it did. I mean, honestly, all four women are truly so talented and put on a show. Seeing Sol Ruca and Chelsea Green go at it, dream match for the future. Once Sol gets to the main roster, I think it'd be crazy. Now, I do have to say, Chelsea was such a star. Okay, she is a star, per usual, obviously, because she's a storyteller, okay? She is able to sell her character in and out of the ring with her extra personality, and it really makes the match come alive, and I love it so much. Now, something that I want to note that happened that I thought was really freaking weird, it happened another time later on in the night, and that is that the new mystery faction that debuted at Vengeance Day, you know, the 4-man group that kind of was giving Retribution, Shield, all that stuff, they appeared. So I saw Cutler James and I don't remember the other guy's name. Was his name Saquon? I know one of them was Saquon, not Barkley. Anyways. So two of them were standing at the top of the stairs in the corners of the room. But the thing is, what I thought was weird is that the hard cam never panned to them and then they never did anything. They were there for like a solid 2 minutes and then left. So I was like, okay, why are we standing in a women's match? The crowd was looking around. The crowd knew they were there, but WWE purposely did not show the hard cam to them. I just thought it was weird. Like, why are you getting in the women's division business? You're a man. So that's weird. And I'm not really sure why they did that, but you know what? What are we going to do? I don't know. Maybe they'll show up at Roadblock next week, which is what I hope. But they definitely are making their presence known for sure. Now, something that I also thought was funny is that the crowd was singing the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance to Chelsea Green, which is hysterical because obviously, you know, she's the U.S. champ and she takes a lot of pride in now being an American citizen and being the U.S. champ, which, you know, go America. We love that. And, it was just so funny. And you know what? I have been going to NXT for years, okay? And so I've experienced every NXT crowd possible. I mean, a lot of it's the same people, but there's nothing like an NXT crowd, okay? If you've been there, then you understand. And if you haven't, then you just have to experience it to know. It is just so unique. The fans there have the funniest sense of humor, always say the funniest stuff and create the funniest chants, and they are just so much fun to be with. One thing I also want to mention is Zarya. Her strength and power is so impressive, okay? Whether you've seen her work before WWE or this is your first time really seeing her, I mean, she is just insane. She did a nasty spear to Chelsea Green and then picked up Piper Niven quite a few times, which obviously not many people can do, which is so impressive. In the end, Zarya and Sol Ruca won. Sol got the pin on Chelsea, and honestly, I'm so happy for them. This is a huge win for them. Kind of sucked to see the US champ lose, but since they were on NXT and not main roster, I guess we can let it slide. And again, so happy for Zarya and Sol. I feel like they're really building them up to be a big tag team in the NXT women's tag team division. So I'm very happy for them. All right, let's move along into the second match of the night, another women's match, which, you know, main roster, take notes. We had Jada Parker versus Kalani Jordan. Of course, two of my favorites. Great match. Okay, these two work magic in the ring, whether you believe it or not. They are so talented, and I can't wait to watch them continue to grow because they both have such a bright future. Obviously, you guys know that Jada Parker is my girl. I love her. And I mean, she slayed. And there were some pretty funny moments throughout the match where they were being sassy with one another or giving attitude. And just like the Chelsea Green match when Chelsea was just being her extra personality self, it's the little things like this that truly bring the match alive. It's just an extra layer of storytelling that not many people have the capability of doing, and it's a special gift. And they both got that, but in the end Jada Parker won. Obviously my queen, so happy for her. Then after that, we had the Hardy Boys come out. The Hardy Boys came out for a segment which was surreal. Okay, to see them in the PC for the very first time, to see them be on NXT for the very first time. Obviously, they were at NXT, what was it, last week? Or the week before? I'm pretty sure, right? Yes? Vengeance Day. I'm slow. But, truly being in, the PC, the NXT arena, getting to see that whole picture was amazing. So they were greeted with an overwhelming response from the crowd, a standing ovation, and every single person yelling at the top of their lungs. Jeff said that it feels so good to be in NXT and back home in WWE. Matt said the passion in the NXT locker room is unmatched. And of course, the fans took that opportunity to start chanting, "Welcome back, welcome home," all that stuff. So then Jeff said that he sees the same fire in Fraxium that they had when they were younger. And I think that's so cool that they get to see a younger version of themselves in Fraxium. I've been saying for weeks, months now, that Fraxium truly is one of the, if not the greatest tag team in all of NXT history. I don't care what anyone says. They are extremely dominant. They've been champions for so long. And don't underestimate their size because they are fireballs. They are bullets. They are a force to be reckoned with. And to get recognition like that from the Hardys is the craziest honor of a lifetime, I'm sure. But of course, the party didn't last for long because Hank and Tank interrupted. They got mega heat and did the typical heel thing where they tried to be nice until, they just got to that point where they stopped. And they basically asked what it will take to get a title opportunity for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. But before the Hardys could respond, Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura interrupted, and they got major heat as well, especially Josh Briggs, who was on the mic. He said that the Hardys are wasting their time giving advice to Hank and Tank. He continued to say that they won't get a title shot because they'll get it before them. Then they all fought each other to the back of the locker room, and then we didn't see them again. And then the Hardys kind of took a breather because, that was a little chaotic. And then they turned around to see the NXT, I almost said TNA, the NXT Tag Team Champions Fraxium right behind them. And they basically were giving each other their respects and just saying that, next week will be one of the greatest tag team matches ever, and may the best tag team win. So next week, I know we have 2 title for title matches at Roadblock next Tuesday. But before we get to that, we also have a TNA World Tag Team Championship match. The Hardys defend their title against Fraxium. My prediction is that the Hardys are retaining, obviously, especially since, at least with the men's championship match where it's title for title, Moose versus Obafemi, one of them will be traveling between NXT and TNA. So I don't think they're going to make Fraxium do that as well. That's just my opinion. But I could be wrong. You never know. WWE and NXT is so unpredictable nowadays that, they could take the titles. But I don't think that would happen. But again, you never know. All right, let's head into another women's match. We had Jordynne Grace versus Cora Jade. Something that was pretty interesting to note is that Masha Slamovich, who is the TNA Knockouts champion, was front row watching the match from the crowd. And obviously, we know that Jordynne Grace is a former TNA Knockouts champion. She officially debuted in the WWE in the Royal Rumble of 2024, and she was the TNA Knockouts champion then, and then obviously she lost it to Masha. And before Jordan had it, it actually was with Naomi, aka Trinity, when she was in TNA as well. But Cora Jade actually has the opportunity to win the TNA Knockouts champion at their show. Crap, I forgot what it's called. Oh God, I don't remember what their show is called. Forgive me. But the next TNA show that's happening, I think it's this weekend. It's a big show. Cora's up for the title, and you never know if she wins it or not. I don't think she will, but again, never underestimate a queen. So let's get into the match. So honestly, pretty good match, okay? Jordan popped out a few new moves that I've never seen before, which I was like, okay, queen, like slay, go off. Like, this is cool. There was like this, like, instead of like trading blows, it was like, she only did it with, I don't know, it was like she would like hit her with her forearm in the front and then hit Cora's back with her I don't know, it was like really weird. If you saw it, then you know what I'm talking about. I'm not really good at describing things, but that was pretty crazy. Then it went downhill from here because Jordan shoved Cora into the corner, but then Cora stopped the referee. And usually when that happens, it's just like, okay, like, just give me a second to breathe, right? And the ref will be like, oh, you okay? Whatever, continue the match, whatever. But then the ref put up the X sign with his arms to the ring announcers and everybody who's kind of like on the outskirts of the show in the ring on the other side of the hard cam. And usually we do not see the refs put up the X sign very often. And for those who don't know what the X sign means, it basically means somebody got injured for real outside of kayfabe. Like, this is a real, not part of storyline injury. And so, you know, the ref threw up the X sign and I was like, oh, frick, like Cora's actually injured. We know that Cora is very injury prone. She's had multiple injuries in just a few short years that she's been with the WWE. So I'm not super shocked that she got injured again. And it really sucks because I thought she was having a really great match with Jordan. And, you know, I don't know what this means for her match with Masha. They haven't really given any updates on that. I think it's still scheduled to happen. I don't know if this was a serious injury. I saw her walking out holding her head, so I hope it's not a concussion or anything. But again, I don't know exactly what happened, but I am sending my best wishes to her. And because of that outcome, by default, Jordan Grace won the match. And we never really saw anything from Masha after the match with that, which I thought was interesting. I thought maybe she would have gotten into the ring, or I don't know. But maybe because it was a real injury or a real situation that they didn't care to do anything further. But let's head into the next segment, which was Ethan Page and Javon Evans. This was honestly so great. I love these two. So Ethan Page was basically complaining, per usual, and low-key sounded jealous of Javon's quick success in the WWE. Ethan talked about how Javon got to walk in and get everything he wanted, but it took almost Javon's entire lifespan for Ethan to just get into the WWE, which I think is so funny. Ethan said that the moment he broke was when a, quote, 20-year-old kid started giving him pep talks about being a husband and a father. And after that, he lost it. This is a direct quote from Ethan that I thought was really good. He said, "Maybe I'm not all ego, but instead all soft." He admits he's jealous and said that he would break Javon's jaw again and again in a heartbeat if he could. Javon finally responds and said that he wasn't able to talk for 3 months because of what Ethan did to him. He said that he's loved WWE his whole life, but this situation has made him look at it in a different light. He continued on to say that next week there's no rules in New York since they are having a New York City street fight, which is going to be absolutely bonkers. And he said to Ethan, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He also said, nobody can take my smile or my joy away ever again. Then they both kind of just start yelling at each other and trying to talk over each other, and it didn't really work out that well, and that was kind of the end of it. But I do have to say that I really am loving this storyline between Ethan and Javon. It's 100% better than I would have ever anticipated, and I'm just living for it. I think both men are so underrated in every way possible. Even though we all love them, there are so many underrated aspects of them that I don't think we talk enough about, especially when it comes to their mic skills and their promo skills. It is out of this world, especially Ethan Page. I mean, he is no stranger to this world, but you know, he continues to amaze me every single time. All right, let's head into the semi-main event. We had Cale Dixon versus Trick Williams. So Trick came in hot and absolutely obliterated Cale Dixon and knocked him out. This match was probably 10 to 15 seconds long. It was the quickest match I think I've ever seen in the last couple years. And of course, Trick Williams won because, I mean, you knock out Cale Dixon and that's really the end of him. But then Trick got on the mic and called out Eddie Thorpe. What's new? Eddie said that Trick has really struggled recently with not being the top guy, but he said it should be him, as it should be Eddie. Eddie challenges Trick to an underground match in 2 weeks when NXT returns to the PC. And as much as I don't like Eddie Thorpe, I honestly do think this match is going to be fire. Like, Eddie really annoys me, but I do think he is talented, and obviously Trick is as well. So I do think that this match is going to be out of this world. Like, I love a good underground match, and I just think it's going to be so awesome. So next week is NXT Roadblock at the Madison Square Garden Theater in New York City. And then the week after that, when they return back to Orlando in the PC, we'll have the underground match between Eddie Thorpe and Trick Williams. Hopefully they'll finally be able to settle this feud that they're having. I really am wondering when Trick is going to get called up at this point, because I'm waiting. I know WWE, has kind of cleared house a little bit on the main roster. And I don't know if that's because of, hopefully they're going to do the draft next month. They did it last year in April. I think it was before or after WrestleMania. It was in April. And so I really hope that they do it again. I don't know if they will though. So, because they did do the transfer portal in January for when when Raw went on Netflix, and, Netflix was demanding certain superstars to be on the show. And so they had to switch things up, and I don't think any NXT stars got called up. Maybe one, but I'm not recalling. So I really do hope that they're going to do the draft, move a few more people around, and then call up some people. I always love looking forward to that every year, strictly just for call-ups, because I think they're so necessary. And I could do, if the draft does get announced, if the draft does get announced and it's like official, it's a done deal that we're doing it, then I will make a separate either YouTube video or just podcast episode talking about what superstars I'd like to see transfer from Raw to SmackDown, and then call-ups as well. But let's hope that they do it, because so far they haven't said anything, and, WrestleMania is in just a few weeks. All right, let's talk about the main event. We had the NXT North American Championship on the line. Tony D'Angelo defending against Shawn Spears. I am so here for this new family of Shawn Spears and this feud. Honestly, it cooks. Now, I am a D'Angelo family stan till the end of time. I think that their entrance is one of the greatest in WWE history. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's just cinema. You don't have to agree with me. Just respect my wishes. I just think it's phenomenal, and I get goosebumps literally every time I watch it. So I am a stan. I will support them till the day I die, and I hope that they get called up together. If Tony gets called up on his own, I'm going to be so pissed, because you know what? They come as a package deal, okay? And I think, here's my thing. Sorry, little side tangent. Tony D'Angelo is ready for the main roster. I don't care what anyone says. Stax is almost ready for the main roster. He should take a little bit more time, but he's almost ready. And you know what? I think if you have Tony and Stax ready to go, then you can still develop Luca Crucifino and Adriana Rizzo on the main roster. I mean, we've seen that with Alpha Academy and Maxine Dupree. We've seen that with, just so many factions that have done that before. Like, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. So I don't think we have to wait for either all of them or just Tony. Like, they better come up together. But I think they'll stay in NXT for a while, because they clearly have a family versus family feud going on right now with Shawn Spears and his gang. I don't know what their official family name is. I don't know if they have a name, but you know what? It's fine. It was a great match. I do have to say, these two are so good in the ring together. I mean, so many great sequences and spots that kept this match alive. Tony and Shawn are obviously such great wrestlers. I mean, Shawn has been in the industry for ages, okay? I mean, must we not forget Ty Dillinger? perfect 10. Like, hello? And then, Sean Spears' run in AEW and now back in the WWE and NXT. And so obviously, he's a vet. He's no stranger to this. And then Tony D'Angelo has been working his butt off for quite a few years. And so these two in the ring, like I said earlier for Jada and Kalani, just work magic. They know how to do what they do best. So when both families are out during the match, it is inevitable. We are bound to see some sort of shenanigans, and we definitely did see a bit of it in this match. Not as much as I was expecting, but of course we saw the traditional Izzy Dame trying to distract Tony D'Angelo, or Luca trying to distract Sean, or like something like that. It was definitely interesting. And then, just like I said earlier, what was it in the Chelsea Green match that the mystery faction came out? Well, the mystery faction came out again, and they did the same exact thing. They were just standing at the top of the stairs and just stood there for a couple minutes and then left. The hard cam never showed them, and I really don't know why. I don't know what the point is. Obviously, there is a point, but I'm not getting it clearly, and so I'd like the point to be a little clearer next time because I don't get it. And then the unthinkable happened. WWE has just decided to break my heart over and over this entire week. First, John Cena turns heel. Then Rhea Ripley loses her Women's World Championship. And now Sean Spears wins the North American Championship. Tony D'Angelo, bye-bye, no longer champion. Are you kidding me? I'm convinced WWE hates their fans. There's no other logical explanation. This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this makes -0 sense. I don't get why us fans have to be hit with brick after brick all week long. I mean, every single show, there's been something. And like, obviously, I get it. This is the road to WrestleMania. This is the road to Stand and Deliver. Of course, we're going to have big moments like this. And they should be happening on regular shows. I get that. But that is not the freaking point. Like, the payoff for everything that's going on right now must be astronomical, because if not, this was a completely asinine decision. Like, I actually don't get whose brain thought this was a good idea. And I know there's going to be fans out there who are happy about it, but the majority of the fans in the PC, when they were showing the card cam around the audience, everybody was like jaw open to the ground, just flabbergasted, shocked, speechless, couldn't believe what they just saw. I was sitting on my couch. You guys know I take notes for the podcast because obviously it helps me stay organized and know what I'm talking about. And I was just typing, and then all of a sudden I heard that bell ring and I was like, nope, that is not happening. No. And then I just started aggressively typing afterwards to write down what I just talked about right now. And so I just am truly so upset that this would happen. Is Tony D'Angelo going to end up winning the NXT championship at some point, even though that makes no sense because Moose might win it? I don't know. Like, what is going to freaking happen? Is he getting called up? Like, oh my gosh. I'm so angry. Okay, I am angry. And you know what? That's why I'm happy we don't have any WWE for the next 2 nights. Obviously, I'm filming this on a Wednesday. We don't have any wrestling until Friday. God bless, because I need a freaking mental break. First, we had the Elimination Chamber on Saturday. Then we had Monday Night Raw 2 nights ago, and then NXT last night. I can't take this anymore. It's heartbreak after heartbreak, and I need a freaking mental break. Okay? So, you know what? I'm going to stop talking because I am just getting more angrier by the second. So let's get into my overall thoughts. Besides the ending of the main event, a very strong NXT. Truly, I loved everything that went down. My match of the night was the main event between Tony and Sean. Even though I despise the outcome, it was still a very good match, okay? And then my segment of the night was, of course, none other than Ethan Page and Javon Evans. I am thoroughly enjoying this storyline. And those two men are so entertaining, okay? They are icons, and we love them. Overall, I rate the show a solid 8.5 out of 10. 9 if I'm pushing it, but I'll just say 8.5 because I'm kind of pissed with the ending of the main event. And, next week is Roadblock in the theater of Madison Square Garden in New York City, which looks to be a fantastic card. I mean, we have 2 title for title matches. We have the TNA X Division champion Moose against the NXT champion Obafemi. Whoever wins will be walking out with both titles and will be pulling double duty across NXT and TNA, which is going to be very interesting. I want to say I predict Moose to win, but again, you never know. I hope Moose wins though. And then the second title for title match will be the NXT champion Champion Julia against the NXT Women's North American Champion Stephanie Vaquer. And what's interesting about this match is that Ava announced that they will be unifying these titles once there's a winner, which I think is stupid because then it was absolutely pointless to introduce the Women's North American Championship. What was it, a couple months ago? Like, this is so stupid. Sometimes WWE really doesn't think things through, and I don't like that. Of course, then we have, what was it? Oh, the Hardy Boys defending their TNA World Tag Team Championships against Fraxium. I'm pretty certain the Hardys will retain. And then we also have the New York City streak fight between Ethan Page and Javon Evans. Now, Ethan Page has been getting the upper hand in this entire storyline, so I don't know why I have a feeling Javon is going to win this one, which I really hope is the case. Now, I don't think there are any other matches announced as of right now. I could be wrong, but let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below if you're listening on YouTube and Spotify. And if you're listening on Apple, then let me know on any of my social media posts or message me. I'd be happy to talk about everything that happened. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy of what you love. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.